is your artistic talent.
Jamie, get up there with a 5.
Yeah, now,
Yeah.
Jamie, I would definitely say that with your drawing, I would say that you can easily justify at least a 3, possibly a 4.
You could justify a 4, definitely.
I'm gonna do a 2 for myself.
I would say Jamie can easily justify at least a 3, above average.
Yeah, I think Jamie's a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's just the conceptual art you're doing. It doesn't mean that.
I have a 0.
Yeah,
I have
Yeah,
no
I make
completely
stick
non-artistic.
figures, and even
This
they are
is
bad.
as artistic as I can get. Is buying a shirt.
I put a 1 because I love drawing stuff, and that's it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I just gonna do because
there will probably be
Okay.
a lot of 1s as well, which means you enjoy something, but you're not especially talented at it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you watercolor, would that be a 1?
That would be a 1 or even maybe possibly a 2.
all of what I do
If you would
is
say you're
abstract
good at
drawings.
watercoloring, then I would say
I'm
a 2.
not coloring, but I do try.
Then a 1.
Guys, this is speed fire round. If we talk this much for each of these,
Sorry.
this will take 3 sessions.
Alright, athletics. So this is your athletic talent. This is sports or track and field or something of that nature. That is a trained, kayaking would fall under this, canoeing, any kind of sport that you do would fall under this.
If I felt I would be good at it if I attempted it, could I do a 2 instead of a 1? Like I do
well,
enjoy it,
a-
but I've
a
never
2
tried to do
It doesn't look that hard. I'm sure I can do that.
A 2 in athletics could be just a generally you enjoy playing sports and games and things, but you don't
Okay.
necessarily do any one in particular exceptionally well.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Fencing.
Fencing is not athletics.
Good. Okay, then I'm good.
Fencing goes under melee.
Yeah, I figured as much, but I wanted to check. I wanted to just check.
Yeah, anything to do with a weapon of any kind is not athletics. Now then, awareness. Now, awareness is different than alertness. Because awareness is just what you pick up on without trying to.
Thinking. Yeah.
It's not you're trying to look around and look for something. You're not actively trying to be alert, but you're standing there and, hey, look what's happening over there.
I'm gonna go with a 2 in awareness.
I'm gonna go with
About
it as well.
I'll leave it at a 1.
Okay, next we have Brawl.
With 0.
This is boxing, kickboxing,
Shit, I'm a 1.
any kind of
Actually,
hand-to-hand that is not martial arts.
What if you used to fight?
Then,
Like, what if you used to get into fights a lot?
Then
So
you have
would
at
that
least a 1, you could probably justify a 2. If you used to
Okay.
win a lot of them, you could maybe even go to a 3.
This one.
what if you could just take a few punches?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
That's not brawling.
Would it involve the endurance? Okay.
Yeah, that
I'll
would
leave that
be,
at 1.
well, I mean, if you used to get into fights and take a lot of hits, you could probably justify a 1 in brawl. If you used to hit back and win a bit, then go with a 2. If you used to be a bit of a bully, not naming names, but there's a reason I put a 3 in there.
I used to be a horrible cunt at school. I was such an
I'm
asshole.
gonna drop mine to a 0 because I've never really been in an actual fight where I've needed to fight back.
I was bullied all my life until I started Jitsu, and I started fighting back.
Yeah, I used to get bullied because I was fat,
Yeah, same.
and then a bully decided to punch me, and
It didn't really feel it, did you?
well, he punched me, and I snapped and lost it.
Oh.
And you know those
Yeah.
metal railings that they have on like wheelchair ramps and things?
Oh no.
I grabbed him, threw him across the railing, and then jumped and sat on him and broke 4 of his ribs in the railing.
Oof. That'll make you stop being a bully.
But
Yeah.
everybody snaps at one point. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
No,
enough
yeah,
is
and-
enough.
I would think I was 9 or 10, but nobody ever bullied me again after that.
I was
Super
a
weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird level of respect that you get after you kick a bully's
Fight
ass.
back.
And
Yeah.
it was that same year that
And-
I started playing American football.
No, that helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, bizarrely, and this is separate from the game, but I will tell it because I think it's significant whenever we talk about bullying and anything like that. I was actually sat in the principal's office after sending that kid to the hospital, waiting to get expelled or suspended or whatever. And I was in elementary school at the time. The high school football coach had been there giving a talk at our school that morning. He sat down while I was waiting to go to the principal's office, had heard about it, talked to me. I had never even considered playing football before then. He convinced me that if I played football, I would have an outlet for my anger. Convinced me to sign up for the elementary school football team with a view for being ready to join his team when I got there. And then convinced the principal to just let me go back to class.
Yeah.
On that agreement.
Yeah, there are
Football
legitimate.
is-
Changed
I
my
will
life.
say, like,
Changed my life.
football coaches, they legitimately care about the students
Yeah.
they fucking take on, and it's weird, and you don't
Well,
expect it, but they
well,
do actually care.
Yeah.
At my
And-
school, from elementary school to high school, because a lot of the coaches' sons were in my class, they just followed along. So a lot of those kids, they helped, train
Yeah.
in football their whole life. So they really
Yeah.
got attached to them. They really cared.
Yeah, and like
No,
I said,
yeah.
My
that,
coaches are
that,
some of the best people.
that changed my
After-
life, and I would not have been the person I am today had it not been for that. So, anyone who's watching who knows Don Shows or knew him, our high school stadium is actually named after him now. They renamed it when he died. One of the greatest men I've ever known.
What's his name?
Don Shows.
Sounds like an awesome guy.
He was.
Yeah.
Anyway, back into the game now that we've had that. And after that moment, ironically, we move into empathy.
I don't feel shit. I don't feel anything.
So yes, empathy is your ability to read the emotions of others, to understand their emotions, and to read people.
I'm pretty good at reading people. As someone who used to own a community and had to deal with autists screaming literally, I'd say, like, could I justify a 3?
Oh yeah, I could definitely say you could justify a 3.
I'm
I
gonna
was
say
on the
a
verge of
high-
saying justifying a 4, but yeah, 3 would easily be justifiable.
I'll go 3 because I haven't done it in a long time. So
I'm putting it right in
I
it
have,
too, just because of how I used to manipulate people.
I have done the same.
That's
as well, so-
how I did it. Yeah.
So yeah, 3
well,
definitely
Doc,
works there.
you were pretty much by our side when that shit was going on. So
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 4 on this one. I'm an asshole, but I abuse that shit.
Fair enough.
It's true, I do it at work all day.
Yeah,
All the time.
I know you well enough to know that I could understand a 4 here. Yeah.
Oh,
And manipulation, empathy is a very strong role. Yeah.
it's usually what you do.
It's
So-
one
Yeah,
of
that's
the
why I
best-
put
it's like-
2 in it.
It's
Yeah,
one of
the
the
old
best
lady
manipulation pairings.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking annoying because the old lady comes in and cries on your shoulders like, oh, she's blah 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 blah, and you tell her that, but if you only work a couple more hours, I can give you a couple of hours off. It's like you don't feel good afterwards, but it's like you have to do it, and you
Yeah.
Well, it's
well
the
enough.
job, right? Like it's a job.
and
know.
you start
Oh
to
no,
read
you
them.
see,
up
I guess
when
that's
you
the difference
work them.
between us. I overcome the challenge and feel good about it.
Yeah, I don't feel good. I think that's the main difference between you and me.
Is that really empathy? I thought empathy was.
I think this is
be
like
able to recognize
anti-empathy.
other people's feelings and to like kind of
Oh,
feel
no.
that.
You
too.
see,
Yeah, I
you see,
know what
the,
they're feeling,
the
and I use it
empathy,
against
the
them.
empathy side of it is understanding the feelings.
Yeah.
The manipulation side of it is
Well, yeah,
turning
that's-
those feelings on
That's
their
the difference,
head.
right? Like, can you say empathy is literally connecting as opposed to understanding? Because when you
Well, you
say
have to, to understand to manipulate.
right,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, whether it is an understanding with the view to help or an understanding of how to harm, they are both empathy.
it doesn't really matter. Okay, cool.
Yeah, empathy does work both ways. You know, empathy charisma or empathy manipulation is a very different thing, but they both involve understanding that person's emotions.
I think there's a lot of people that underestimate themselves in this group because I know that Doc sees them 4. I think that you're 3 or 4 as well, Mr. Digger. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
brain freeze.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, Kim's saying that he thinks you could probably justify a 4 in this. Bearing in mind, though, that a 4 is, like, almost pro level, so... Yeah.
Here's the thing. I could justify a 4 if I actually tried, but that's the thing is I myself am not interested in manipulating people anymore.
Yeah.
So.
So, moving on then, expression. Now, this is how you explain yourself, how you get your opinion across.
I'm horrible at this.
Can I put a 0 in that?
Yeah, can I put a
You're a 0.
You don't have to put points in any of these.
I am 0.
And on that, I am going to need to step out to the loo. So if you want to look at the next couple, intimidation and leadership, and I'll be right back.
Those are pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Intimidation's 0. I'm not intimidating.
I can be an asshole. I can really be.
That's the difference, though. Intimidation's more, you need to make them believe what you're saying. It kind of
What was expression?
Expression is...
how you do it.
No, go ahead.
Is how you explain yourself. Is how you get your opinion to others.
Very good.
Essentially, imagine expression as an acting. Like.
I would say it's more like getting your point across.
No, yeah, but what I mean is,
dancing. Dancing is expressive.
Yeah, dancing is quite expressive.
I think I'm gonna leave my intimidation 0 because I am not at all.
I almost want to put mine up to 5.
Just your
If
dance.
you ask anyone, like, what's the first word when they think of Jamie, they usually say scary.
Yeah.
In intimidation? Shit.
Yeah.
I
No,
would
see, you make that face, but you've only known me for less than a year. These people have known me for school.
I know. That's a very small opinion that I have, but that very small contained moment of time is explosive. It's a lot, okay? It may seem like this. When you zoom in, it's going fucking like this.
What is it talking
It's
about?
like a fractal.
We're talking about how scary Jamie is.
Yeah.
No, you can be intimidating, Jamie.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Trying to justify a 5.
At least leadership at maybe 1. I'm not great at it, but I
I'd
could do
say
it if I had
a
to.
tummy bug in bed. I'm so scary right now.
Yeah,
You
just
should have put on war paint.
It's
Jamie,
literally right here.
go
I
ahead.
want to lay too.
go ahead and
This
bump
is
your manipulation up to 5, Jamie.
This is so
Kim is back.
Kevin's back.
Just-
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So did everyone get their leadership and intimidation scores down?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't
put
done it.
leadership at 1 and intimidation at 2 because
Yeah, I left my intimidation is 0 and my leadership is 1. Not
Like I
great
said,
at it, but I can
there will be
manage.
a lot of these that you are untrained in. That's perfectly normal.
Yeah. A lot of mine
Right.
are just because I haven't dealt with them.
I put my intimidation and leadership at 3. I'm not exceptional leader, but I use both every day.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I left my leadership at 0.
I would say with myself they're both a 3 as well. That's
Yeah.
where I would sit.
yeah.
You are a
I mean,
large man,
I-
Casey. You are just naturally intimidating.
Yeah, but I don't really make an effort to be especially so.
Yeah.
If
No,
I
but when
I
you-
really
when you
wanted
get
to, I could probably go
Casey,
to a 4. But
when you get angry, it's very noticeable.
true, true. Yeah.
And a little bit
Really?
scary. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Casey quite angry yet. Just upset.
No, you really haven't.
Yeah,
You've
it's
seen
more
me
like
frustrated,
annoyed.
but You've never seen me.
Yeah,
Are
frustrated,
you saying
annoyed.
like after all the shit I put you through, I haven't seen angry Casey yet?
I have seen
I'm
Casey
angry.
angry
No, you've
once.
seen frustrated, but you've not
Oh
really seen
fuck!
angry.
Well, now I have a new challenge.
I would say that Madman, myself, and Dark have seen Casey pissed once. Just once, and that's based on a group member.
Oh,
Yep.
that yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
I
okay.
know what you're talking about
yeah.
there.
His
and
name
that-
starts with a P.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I thought you started with an S.
No. This is
Hang
before
on.
that.
We're talking about
you
different...
were there.
Oh! Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
now-
You got it
okay.
now.
Yeah,
Rewinding. Okay,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
yeah. You know
I get
you get the moment now.
Now I
That
do
was
it.
me angry.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Around that, or was that after?
Guys,
Um,
could we go into Streetwise?
Zero.
I know heroin. Don't worry about it.
So streetwise is your knowledge of
Streets.
where to get things outside of the normal flow of things. It is.
Oh,
I know where
God,
to get
Zero.
pot.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
all I know, but I know
it's,
how
it's,
to get
it's
pot.
where to
Now-
get
Isn't it your
drugs,
brother,
where
though?
to
Does
get
that
guns.
count?
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Uh,
where
yes,
the. Sorry, Charles.
Everyone here can justify very high streetwise because of the fact that we A, have the internet, and B, darknet market.
It
You
doesn't
can quite
count.
literally get.
It doesn't.
No, you
No.
can though.
If you are
Uh,
using the internet to find something,
That
that is
would
not a
be
streetwise score.
That's
That is going to be
computers.
that's going to be a computer's role. This
Yeah.
is your actual self knowledge of things.
Okay, can
And
I
mine
put
is
it
a
in
zero.
perspective? Like, let's say that
Mm-hmm.
today, you're traveling to a new country.
Mhm.
Where do you buy groceries?
In the
Yeah.
food store.
Being
Yeah,
able
You
to
steal
work
it
out
from people's
things like
houses,
that,
obviously.
being
It's-
able to
now-
work out things like that would be a probably a 1 or a 2 in streetwise.
Yeah, because look at it this way: if you're going to Africa and there is no groceries, where do you get food?
You
Yeah.
steal it from people.
Exactly. It's like you could look it up on using a computer, but that's computer skills. If you know, because it's like you can logically think yourself
Towns
to
are
it. Like,
laid out this way.
yeah,
The residential area looks like it's over here. That means the commercial area is going to be over here, which means that
Exactly.
the shops are going to be being able to work that stuff out as you're stood there.
Yeah.
That would be streetwise.
Yeah, I could not do that, so zero.
So a 1 in Streetwise would be I can survive in a city that I've never been to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
pretty
you
much.
can
Cool.
if you
Oh.
can spend a day in a city that you've never been to and figure out where the public transport is and where the shop to buy food is and
Whoa! I
where
said
you're gonna-
survive. I didn't say fucking move in there.
yeah,
So
I mean
this doesn't include like a language barrier.
Man, this is a new house. I love this shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
things,
it's
things like
stole
that.
it
7
from
days before I
somebody.
die from like lack of water and
these
food,
are
so it's
actual
fine.
issues. Because when I
Yes.
first time I arrived in England, my phone didn't automatically connect to the network. I had zero internet connection. I was literally standing at an airport I've never been in a country I've never been in,
Yeah.
with nothing around me, and the driver wasn't where he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What the fuck do I do?"
And that
Help!
would be
Help
streetwise.
me!
Yeah.
Help me!
yeah,
That-
exactly.
Actually, that role, as an example, would be what I would call wits streetwise.
So what's the name of the next thing that I can't pronounce?
Subterfuge.
Subterfuge.
It's like spying.
Subterfuge is your ability to do things discreetly. It is
Yeah.
spying. It is sneaking. It is saying something without actually saying it. It's reading
I am
between
about
the
as
lines.
subtle as dog balls. I'm leaving that as a zero.
If
think
I'm not
what-
wearing pants and none of you have noticed up till now, is that
I've been under your desk up until now.
Oh.
Yeah, so subterfuge is all of that kind of random spy stuff.
Yeah,
It's-
mine's
it's not-
pretty-
It's not outright stealth. It's not hiding. Stealth is its own thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
What if you're
subterfuge is
naturally a quiet person?
I would like it to be higher, but it's not higher. It's
subterfuge
just
is
a-
not being quiet. Subterfuge is innuendo.
Okay.
It's,
Okay,
uh.
hang on. It is okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Hang on.
You
Without
say
saying
one one thing, but you mean something else.
Oh.
That would classify as subterfuge.
What would a 1 in that be?
A
Man,
one
I
means
like you because you're
can-
Scandinavian.
You can manage double entendres. You can
Uh-huh.
See what you did there?
puns. You know, your average kind of double meaning puns. That kind of thing would be a 1.
Yeah, mine'll be a 1. I'm not great at it.
Leave it
I
at
can,
0.
I can
Are you
manage.
kidding me? So you'd be at least be a 2.
No, just 1. My
What are
puns
you
aren't that
doing, Jamie?
Yeah, what
good.
are
I'm rolling
you?
around.
Fine.
Are you literally a cat right now?
My what?
I'm
Are
trying
you
to
a
figure
cat
out how
right now?
Jamie's figuring out her character sheet while she's rolling around.
My stomach is cramping and my butt exploded before, and I'm just like
Oh.
Good to
fighting
know.
through it.
That statement
what
will
you
now
do.
be on the
It
internet
sounds
forever,
like-
Jamie.
Sounds like you need more vodka.
No.
You
I
need some
need more
Mexican
vodka.
food. That's what you
Yeah,
need.
that-
I'm
that's-
out of
Spicy.
vodka.
That statement will now be on the internet forever, Jamie.
Oh.
Okay, the next couple are fairly self-explanatory. Crafts is any kind of craft. Can you build something? Are you a carpenter? Are you a mason? Can you build computers? Can you... Well, actually, no, computers is a bad example because there's the computer skill. But it's anything that you make.
I actually have a fun story about crafts. I was going to make a bow and arrow, and I was just going to do the arrow part. And I slipped with the knife and cut my hand, and 16 stitches later, they're gonna sew it together.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna put a 0.
That would not be that would be a 0 in craft.
Yeah, that's a 0.
Uh,
I couldn't even make the arrow for the bow and arrow. I hadn't
I-
gotten to the bow.
So wait. How are you doing this? Can you explain this? Like, show this to me. So you were
Carving
He-
wood with a
he-
knife
Yeah, so
towards
he
himself.
went down instead of up. He went to his
Okay,
hand
so-
instead of
yeah.
away.
imagine my flip phone is like the piece of wood here, and you were going like this.
yes.
You are dumb.
You realize the prime rule with knives is to always cut
My
away,
craft
right?
is 0.
Yeah.
Sigurd.
Cut
Yeah,
that's the
away.
zero.
Yeah,
I only
knife,
play my
wood,
character, dude.
away.
It's true to character. Okay?
Intelligence is
I
0
don't-
too.
I don't meet a game. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wood.
a 0 for Madman. What were you saying,
Yeah.
Taylor?
What would constitute a craft as far as like mechanical work? Because I can pull apart car parts and put them back together and they work.
Yeah, automotive would be a craft. Yeah.
I'll do
So
it 2.
yeah,
Cause
a
Yeah.
3 would mean that you're. I would say if you're a 3, you're good enough to work as a mechanic. If you're a 4, you're a very good mechanic. And if you're a 5, you're designing new cars or new engines.
If you're a 5,
This
you're my
is really
stepdad.
easy for me to compare because my dad's a professional trucker. So like,
yeah,
all of this
I've
shit
worked on cars for a while.
Yeah,
I think I
I
can
can
do a
keep
3.
a car running, but I'm not very good at it. So if I was going automotive, it would be a 1.
Yeah, I'm a
Okay,
1.
yeah.
I put a 1 in it as well.
that's what I did too.
Yeah,
I can take off a lot of things and basically
Based on-
get them to work.
Basically,
things like-
based on mechanical understanding. That's it.
Pretty
Yeah.
much everyone knows how to drive if you have a car.
Now,
That's-
bear in
car.
mind with this, the drive skill, you can have 0 dots in drive and still drive.
So-
But if you are in a stressful situation, if you need to drive quickly, or if you need to get through a hard situation, or if you need to squeeze through a narrow area, that's when ranks in drive come in.
Okay. So,
So
I mean-
quick reaction time, especially with driving and gut reactions, that's a very key element with driving
Yeah.
because you don't exactly
I would-
have a lot of time.
Yeah, I would say
say
anyone that has a license has enough to have at least a 1. If you have a license and you have never had a ticket, you could probably justify a 2.
Oh. Okay.
A 2.
Okay.
If you are driving and you've taken any defensive driving courses or combat driving courses or anything like that, I would say a 3.
How about this? Anyone who's lived in one of these European major cities, where the streets aren't made for originally for cars.
Yes, and everything is
It's
just
like-
in one lane flying
It's
around.
like a combat situation every time.
Yeah,
Is
that-
that the Autobahn that you're talking about? Or
No.
I
Like,
don't know what you're
big,
talking
about.
big European cities, like the
Oh.
roads are not made for
Have
cars.
you-
Cobblestone
you've
roads that
ever-
weren't made for cars.
have you
that
ever
have never been
driven into
expanded.
places like Stockholm or London
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
God,
that's
Paris?
going to require...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. I had panic attacks from that when I was
Now,
a newbie
like-
driver.
The thing is, like, a 4 would be like a low-ranked professional race car driver.
Yeah, I'm a
what
three.
would
I'm
you
a three.
consider like? What would you consider like a trucker that's been doing it for all of his life?
A 2 maybe a 3.
I'm a 3.
It's not the
Because
most...
although you do it a lot, you don't have to do anything particularly you're not,
Right, you're
swerving
not dipping in and out of traffic. You're not avoiding people.
Yeah.
You're just
Now, I mean,
long haul.
parking a
shit.
truck in a yard, there is some talent involved there. So if
Yeah.
you're doing a lot of that, a 3.
Yeah, I'd go with like a 2.
Yeah, I'm a 3.
I've never had a ticket or anything, so
Same, so I bumped mine to 2, because I've never got a ticket.
I've had to
Made
do this in
mistakes,
the
but I've never
military.
seen-
there was
We have
one time where I scraped my dad's pickup, but we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, that's
Casey, you never know how much you've learned by being in military since you were 18, but goddamn, there's a lot of things you pick up.
See,
The military
I
teaches
wasn't.
you a lot.
I wasn't in the
Yeah.
military, but I worked as a civilian contractor for them, and even that.
It
I,
works
I
like
wanted to be in there.
it picks up so much. I mean, I put 3 in drive now just based on the fact that I have to be ready in
Yeah, a
combat
military
situations.
driving course would definitely
I am-
qualify
Yeah.
3.
I'm there every year. Every year I have to refresh the stress license, as they call it.
Military's great
How would
for
you
just
justify etiquette in real life?
No.
Etiquette of 1 means that you kind of understand, eat from the outside in, but you're not very. You don't know much beyond that. You don't know why you do that. You just kind of know that's the general rule.
Okay.
Yeah.
A 2 means you start understanding the basics of table manners, and you know the difference between a salad fork and a dinner fork and a dessert
So-
fork. And
General people are 2 then.
well, actually, no. I'd say a lot of people I know are a 1 or a 0.
I don't-
Yeah,
I don't know
I
a
have
salad
bad
fork.
table
I'm a
manners,
2.
man. I'll sit there and my parents are like, I'll sit there with my arms up and the fucking plates right underneath, and I'll be like, oh
Goddamn
yeah,
animal.
good shit.
My fiance would be a 4 here. God damn it.
Yeah, people that are really on. Yeah.
Fucking Chinese cultures, man.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
see, the company I work for, every year we take a Japanese heritage course,
Oh.
and you have to kind of understand the basics of Japanese culture, so that when the higher ups from Japan come to visit us, you don't do anything offensive to them. So I would actually put a 3 in etiquette, because every year I have a refresher course on the right things to do.
Japanese culture is fascinating.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Everybody
I do
else in
too.
my office
It's so
hates it, but I
fancy.
love that course every year.
Oh, God. I'm actually jealous. I would adore taking that course every year. That sounds so fun.
We only get
I would
it's
love
half a day
soccer.
every year.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Moving on then, firearms. Fairly self-explanatory. Shooting a gun.
If you're American, you have it.
What is a 2 in it, though?
I mean,
a 2
we've
in-
all tried shotguns before,
A 2
so
in firearms means that you go out shooting on the weekends, you hit more often than you miss, and you kind of know the basics of cleaning a gun.
Yeah,
I'd say like a 2 for me then,
Yeah,
because
I'd be a 2.
I've owned a couple guns in the past, and I do take good care of them.
Yeah.
So.
2.
I've never fired a gun.
Then you don't put any points in firearms.
I can pull apart and create.
I
up
fired
in
soft
my-
air guns.
something.
That's a gun.
If you
Counts.
fired air guns, then I would say put 1 in it.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah. You
I
understand
mean,
the
it's still-
basics of it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 5, Casey.
It's not rocket science. You point the
Military, I can
that
understand
end
that.
towards the thing, and then you
No,
pull
it's,
the
I-
trigger.
In the
Competition
military,
as
I
well.
yeah, competition every year. So
Yeah.
once a year I go. Well, not this year, but every year up until this year I've gone in.
Yeah.
So
I would have put a 3 in my own just because I'm out of practice.
Mm.
But I would
I
have
haven't
in
done
my
it in a
heyday
while.
a
That's why I'm
4.
a 2.
All right, next.
Plus, my vision's not great. So,
That doesn't help. Yeah. Next, martial arts.
none.
Now, this is a
I-
trained form of martial arts.
Can I
Yeah.
ask if fencing falls in under this? I mean fencing next to these are the 2 things I've been doing. It's like
No,
shooting
fencing
guns
is
and
not
fencing.
martial arts.
Okay.
Fencing is melee.
Oh, it's a melee. Okay, yeah.
I
sorry.
went. I
Yeah.
did Aikido for like 6 years, but that I stopped like 6 years ago.
Yeah, but you still
Okay.
have the basic knowledge.
If you still
would
have that
a
basic
2.
knowledge, I'd say you still have a 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going 1 because I only did the initial course of jiu-jitsu. That's all I did.
I did Taekwondo years ago, and although I don't
Oh shit!
keep up with
Did
it,
you?
yeah, I did.
Oh, really? With the kicks and everything?
Yeah.
Holy damn! I didn't see you that flexible, man.
This is whenever I was a teenager. I was much younger.
I mean,
Yeah, this is what, like 30 years ago, dude? 20
Wow.
years
Yeah,
ago?
okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I couldn't actually perform most of the maneuvers now, but even so, I still have an understanding of how those maneuvers work.
Yeah.
I had that teaching of how a smaller opponent beats a bigger opponent.
Oh.
So now I can look at it as the bigger opponent and counteract some of that. So I would still put a 1 there, even though it's been years and I don't actually perform it.
The main thing I remember from Jiu-Jitsu still is like, you got to do that. You still have to have that form. That's what I remember the most.
Yeah, I actually went to, whenever I was quite a bit younger, I actually met Chuck Norris once. I was at his,
that gives you a 3. So
I was
I mean,
at his school, or one of his many schools.
Well, you get +1 just for beating him. That's...
So yeah, that's martial arts. Martial arts is going to be the one exception to the normal rules, where if you are putting any dots in a martial art, do you see that box next to martial arts?
Put in,
You have to
put in.
specify.
I want you to put in which martial art.
I'll put in
okay.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Now those
I think I ended up.
those
Okay.
will come into play for something else later on, but that's the only one I want to mention it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know Kung Fu, but I know Jiu-Jitsu.
There you go.
I used to practice Muay Thai, but
That would be a martial art.
was,
Yeah.
but my extent of practicing was going to a little tiny dojo and stretching for a bit. So I don't know if I could justify a 1.
You were observing it. You were involved with it. I'd say it justifies a 1.
Okay.
Bear in mind, 1 dot is unexercised or unpracticed.
Yeah.
So you're
Okay.
aware of it. You're just not practiced at it.
It sounds like this. I wish I had taken my love of boxing at one point and actually done something with it, because I really
God,
wanted to get
I
into
wanna
that
I
at one
have
point.
done Kung Fu before.
There you go.
But I think everybody at one point has done some martial arts growing up, at
I
least.
haven't done any yet, but I really do want to try
Yeah.
boxing at some point.
I want to go back to it. I miss it a lot.
There's just no place around here that really
I
teaches
just
it.
hate getting beaten on, because it's like one of the teachings in Jiu-Jitsu is like, okay, you're gonna be able to take a punch. Stand there. Yeah, it's one of the things.
But bizarrely,
Yeah, that is
everyone will probably get a chuckle out of this, but I've actually, within the last year, been looking up UK sumo clubs.
Hey.
That sounds
Oh, that
cool,
would actually be
dude. What the fuck?
That does
That
sound
sounds
cool.
awesome.
I would.
Well, here's the
Started
thing.
this-
Do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Sumo wrestlers are actually incredibly well respected
Yeah.
and
Oh
Yeah.
shit,
healthy.
Casey,
They're actually-
you were just
they're
playing the
actually-
fucking corporate game because you wanna
No.
suck up to your bosses in Japan. And just go, hey, guys, I'm very good at etiquette and I'm a sumo wrestler, and they will fucking.
Well,
Yeah, sumo wrestlers are highly respected.
I actually do have a sumo wrestler on the dashboard of my car, because about a year ago we had a promotion at work, and they came out with a Mr. Hitachi sumo wrestler doll. It's basically a statue of a sumo wrestler with Hitachi across his belly, and I have it sat on the dash of my car.
Nice.
Does the-
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've ever
Oh,
looked
yeah,
at how they
that's
train
the
and
one I,
prepare for actually wrestling, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, it actually
No,
there's actually a lot
and
to
also
it.
they're incredibly healthy
Yeah.
as you may
Yeah, they're-
not think it, but they're
Yeah,
they
The
can
food they eat is really good for them. It's a lot of protein,
They
and it's
do
it's designed to
serious
put weight and muscle on them, not
Yeah.
fat.
And that's
It's almost
one of
all
the reasons
muscle.
I've thought about it, is because it might be one of the few ways that I would actually focus on something like that again.
Yeah.
I haven't found one in my local area yet, but I'm still
I
kind
know.
of halfway looking into it.
Hold on, wait.
Sumos.
You work for Hitachi?
Have you, all the time I've known you, you've not
Yeah.
you've not realized I've mentioned that?
he's
No.
said that like 100 times,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you work for the vibrator company?
Wait,
Among
wait.
all of the products that Hitachi makes, that's the one you're going to mention.
Hey.
Of course.
I mean, we
Oh,
do
one most
it's the
memorable.
most knowable one.
Yeah.
we do home
No.
appliances, we do construction
it's not the
equipment,
most.
we
It's not the most knowable one because when you look at Hitachi, most of their thing is power tools.
It's the
Not-
most,
That's
it's the
a
most
power tool, let me
notorious
tell you.
one. It is the most notorious thing we've ever made. But the company that I actually work for is Hitachi's UK finance arm.
Right. Okay.
So
So what
actually, if you walk into half of the high street shops in the UK, Hitachi actually provides the financial backing for the credit they offer. And
So
I
what
work
you're saying-
IT.
It's a
for
big
them.
company.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
I end.
But yes, it is the same company as the construction equipment and the TVs and the hard drives and the
Dildos.
toys and all of that. Yeah,
The dildo.
And the vibrators.
It's a wand massager. That's all it is.
it's an electronic
You
massager.
know what?
Sure.
No,
I can do some
actually,
interesting magic
Hitachi
with it.
has actually
They have
never
the
made a
prototype
dildo.
section, the R&D.
They've never said it. They've never
What is
said
No,
it.
it
But it's
actually
bought for it.
it's not actually, and this is way off subject, but actually Hitachi has never made a dildo. They made an electronic stimulator for external use. No
I'm sorry.
insertion.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are different things.
Yeah.
It is.
Similar application.
That
but
brings us
very
actually
different.
to the next point, meditation. And I took the liberty to do some Google searching, and apparently masturbation through meditation is a thing. Or meditation.
Yeah, I will say that I don't know how it would work for Technocracy side, but if we were going the other way and you wanted to play like Cult of Ecstasy, that would be spot on.
Wow.
Can I
Yeah,
go higher than 5?
I
This is not a joke. Can I go higher than 5?
no,
5 is
you
not
cannot.
enough.
You cannot go higher than 5.
In all serious, in game terms, what is meditation?
justify
Yeah,
it.
meditation is a trained process which you use to center and focus yourself. So
I
it
don't
could-
have that.
It could be.
Yeah, no, mine's
It
0.
could be Gregorian chanting, it could be tantric meditation, it could be holistic meditation, it could be
Could it be audio hypnosis?
audio hypnosis would work, yeah, anything like that. That is
Oh, that's
a
true.
way of mentally removing yourself in a prescribed and organized fashion.
That's a video?
I
I'm
use it every
ignoring all
night
of
to
that.
fall
God damn it,
asleep.
guys.
So is that like
Batman's reaction to
I was
that when he
drinking,
read it,
and I was starting
priceless.
reading the chat, and I'm like,
Oh.
Yeah, I'm ignoring the chat now because of the stuff that they're all linking there.
Batman's reaction was priceless. So
Alright,
good.
moving on then. We have
Ugh.
oh, I
Melee.
got a zero in meditation.
I
We
found
have
the video.
melee. Now, melee is training in melee weapons. Now, we've all played D&D.
Yeah, that's
you
the
all
fencing.
know what a melee is. Fencing, sword fighting. Go for it, Jamie.
In a keto, you've got a Joe. Does that count?
No, if it is a weapon used in conjunction with a martial art, that still goes under martial arts.
Yep.
This-
Melee
this-
seems like it's just tied to a specific, just the weapon, not an actual style to work with it.
I'm gonna put rapier and longsword on there. Those are the two weapons I've used.
Okay. Well, you don't actually have to specify the weapon unless you're putting over a 3.
I'm putting 4.
Putting 4? Okay.
Yeah.
So you've done quite a bit then of actually melee
Yeah.
fighting.
Even if you
I
even
own a
Google my
sword.
name, if you even Google my name and fencing, you will even find me in the papers.
I
I
would
own
put a
like
3 here.
this. Does this count?
I own a, I own a,
no,
I think
Matt.
World War One, the
I use it
bayonet.
to open containers.
Yeah, I actually, for my own example, I would put a 3 in melee
I
because,
tend to stab the
especially
shit
in
out of the
high
box.
school, I did a lot of reenactment and a lot of like Ren Fair sword fighting. So I actually learned and trained to use a greatsword.
Okay,
Wow,
okay.
I do that all the time in my bedroom.
Don't fuck with
I
me.
actually like
was-
did it at Ren Fairs.
This is us training with small weapons,
I'll be
having
right
fun when during practice. Okay? Don't give me shit for this. I wasn't told.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing it for
Glorious.
quite a lot of years. This.
Yeah. I could justify a 4 then. And you don't have to specify a specific type of weapon or a specific weapon. you can specify a type. So double-bladed swords or single-bladed
Okay.
swords.
Yeah, single-bladed.
Yeah, or two-handed swords.
Yeah, no.
You can be a little bit broader than a specific weapon.
Just put proficient in martial weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
Martial weapon proficiency. There we go.
Moving on, research.
Yeah.
Research
No.
is your ability to, for example, walk into a library and find something out.
Oh, hell no.
I do.
This is
I-
not.
Hell no.
This is not using a search engine. That's
Going somewhere and
computers.
looking through actual physical.
Yeah, this is old school research.
Yeah,
I've
hang
done
on.
this
But
before.
What
does
would I
research
do in
also
that
count
dude?
with people? Like
Now-
if I research with people.
Kind of saved.
Um,
I've done that before.
What if-
yeah,
In that
What if
case,
you-
I'm gonna put a 3 because that's part of my job.
What if you want to, but there's just not an option for it? Like you like to do that, but there's just not a revenue for it.
I'd say you could probably justify a 1.
Okay.
I've got a-
Unpracticed.
Genuine interest, yeah.
It's
Put
something
a
that you're
2 in mine
interested in,
because-
you believe you'd be good at, but you're unpracticed at it.
I put a 2 in mine because for a long time I didn't have internet, but I had a big set of encyclopedias, so I used that for a lot of projects.
I'm a 0.
I
I
think the 2 was
started
fine
using
with that.
computers at the age of 13, and I haven't stopped since.
I actually put a
And-
3 in it because there was a time that I was
Yeah.
in high school and I worked in the school library.
Oh,
Oh, neat.
I did extra credit.
I like
by working in the
libraries, though.
library.
I like books. I don't
Yeah.
read
I
enough.
do whatever fuck I want.
Next, stealth.
I can dance if I want to.
Stealth is exactly what you think it is. It is sneaking
0.
around.
0.
0.
Yeah, I'm a 0.
You guys
Now-
tell me,
I do have a question about that.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Go
man.
for it.
where
Doc.
did I go? You don't know.
What were you wanting to say, Doc?
I am quite good at not being noticed. Would that go to stealth?
Yes, it
As
would.
in just in a
Just awareness.
The
of
art of
What's it
your
called?
blending into a
Setting.
cloud.
Yes,
Blending into a cloud,
exactly.
That is stealth, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna put that at 3 then.
Okay.
I mean, I don't stand out by the way I look, but if I tried to hide, I don't think I could.
I do not
Not
stand
well.
out
Not for
whatsoever.
people actively looking for me.
Possibly. And not having any other color clothing count as stealth.
Wait, say that again?
If she only has black
Having
clothing,
just-
does that count?
And not having
No,
any other
no,
kind
that
of clothing.
That would be a
other-
circumstantial modifier, but not actually skill.
Yeah, I'm gonna put mine at 0 because I couldn't act. I don't think I could actively hide from a group of people looking for me.
Yeah, I mean,
They're-
I,
Not
I,
well,
have,
not for long.
I have red hair and a beard. I stick out.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm
large
the same way.
dude.
like
I'm
the
a lot
other
of
side.
places to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put hand weapons and some machine guns on the firearms because those are the 2 ones I use actually.
Okay.
I haven't done that much with AG3 for example. I don't shoot with.
Makes sense, yeah.
I'm like a
Alright.
hobbit. If I don't want to be found, I won't be found.
Well, then that would be a good stealth skill.
Yeah.
Put 2 in it.
Oh, so what should I put at then?
2 would be average, 3 would be above average. Would you say you're above average?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Go for
pretty
a 3.
Yeah.
I'm not even a 1.
I'm
I'm so bad at this.
Yeah. Yeah, my skill section so far is a lot of 0s.
They
But that's
may well be.
appropriate.
Yeah, they may well be. Next is survival. Best way
I've
I like
always
to
liked
describe survival is if someone blindfolded you, dropped you in the middle of a forest, could you survive and make your way back to town?
I watch those videos with a guy that lives off the land. Does
I
that
got
count?
a guy who's working his way up in technology.
I would say the knowledge of watching someone else like that would justify a 1.
My man, do you get the
Yeah,
same
I
thing
could do a
that we-
1.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you get the same things in school that we did?
You gotta be more specific, man.
We
yeah, we have
had like
math. Yeah, we
No,
have
no, no.
Swedish.
No, the trips where they tell you that this is north, this is blah blah.
Oh
blah.
yeah. Orientation, like you get a
Yeah.
map and then you gotta run the thing.
Dude, we don't
Yeah,
get that.
Could-
We didn't.
Could my,
we
could
didn't
my
do- we
time
didn't
in
do it.
Boy Scouts justify it 2?
Yeah, if you've ever did any kind of orienteering in the Scouts
Yeah, I'm not sure.
or
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
map
Cub
reading.
Scouts.
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Learning how to use a compass, that's all survival skill.
I'm gonna
I know how to find my way to a town. That's about all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a 2, but that's like I know how to fish, but I don't know how to make a fishing rod if
No,
I'm
but-
dropped off in the woods.
Oh, that's
I'd
easy.
say that's a 1 or a 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ah,
a
gotta put a
1 in
1.
survival is
put it-
basic things like knowing that moss grows on the north sides of trees.
Yeah. If you don't know that, then
Not
write
that's
that
a
down.
lie.
Okay, no, for
What
Jamie
fun
it's different
lie.
because she lives on the wrong side of the world.
Also for Jamie,
It's
I
a myth.
think for the southern hemisphere, you go water streams flow differently, and so you had to follow them the opposite way you would in the northern hemisphere to get to town.
I learned that through Simpsons. Anybody else?
Nope, Boy Scout.
Yeah, it's all backwards in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the entire southern hemisphere is weird. It's So
Oh, I'm
north
judging you guys so hard now.
go against the inside jump. I don't remember.
So technology. What? I mean, because I see on the right side there's computers and technology.
I mean general technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, technology is anything
I love
technological
technology.
that is not a computer.
Yeah, I'm a 3.
So
Oh, put
this
that
is not
shit
necessarily the craft of building a car, but can you hotwire a car?
Ah,
Can you jury rig a security system?
Yep.
Can you figure
I can
out
do that.
anything like that where you are working with technology, but it is not actually working a computer?
I could maybe figure out how it was doing something, but I couldn't figure out how to bypass it. So I'll do a 1.
That'll probably
Do-
give you a
do-
1.
I
Yeah.
can put the batteries out of a remote and put them back in.
Still
hey,
a 0.
that's a 3.
Yeah, I think I'm-
How about wires and shit? Does that count as technology?
Anything like that? Yeah, rewiring.
I'm gonna put a 1. I can't hotwire a car.
Yeah,
Just
I
to be
couldn't.
clear.
How can you?
I couldn't
anyone can
jailbreak
hotwire a
something,
car.
but
How?
It's easy
Cars.
enough.
it is easy.
I've
Actually,
seen
so-
movies. They take a knife and then they put it in the ignition and
Not that
and then it
easy.
works.
No, you pull the ignition cylinder out.
You lost me.
You know where the key goes.
You pull the actual key thing out.
You know where that
The key
two-
thing.
The
Yeah, the
cylinder
key
that
thing.
the key goes in. You pull that out,
The key thing. Yeah.
and that's going to reveal a positive and a negative wire.
The,
Touch them
the
A
together.
red and a blue usually.
yeah, they're very
You,
blue.
you touch them together, and they will spark and start the ignition.
Yeah, all the
I
key
see
does is
that
completing a
bullshit.
circuit when you
That's-
twist it.
That seems like
Why
far
are
too
you
easy.
guys teaching madmen how to fucking hotwire cars?
They'll never do
It's
it.
like a
'cause-
recipe for disaster.
That's
Now
like-
that you know that, you get 1 in technology.
Yeah, I had a friend who had to like hotwire his own car to start it, and he couldn't open like the doors, so you had to crawl in through the windows. And if you turn on the right turn signal, the AC went off, and if you but the left one worked for some reason, just the right one. And if you put on like the radio, then like the headlights didn't work at all, and just
Yeah, that's
Sounds like he.
I had a friend in high school whose first car he salvaged from a junkyard and got it running himself,
Mhm.
but it never had a key cylinder. So his standard way of starting the car was just to hotwire it every time he wanted to.
Yeah.
get in the car.
just done.
I did not feel safe in that goddamn car. Like, oh, I can give you a ride home. I just got a new car. Like, cool, gotta see your new car. Just like crawling through the window. Like, what? Yeah, the door is stuck. And then he crawls in. Like, yeah, all the doors are stuck. Like, okay.
Oh,
This is a death machine.
talking about crazy cars. I went to high school with a guy who had a Volkswagen Beetle that in the passenger seat did not have a floor panel.
Oh,
That's some Flintstone shit. Like,
So literally, you would get into the car and then prop your feet up on like
On
the
the
dash, on the frame or on the dash, so that your feet didn't hang down.
What if the stone just hits up there?
that's just
Yeah,
No,
it was not.
imagine going through a puddle. All the water's just gonna go up through the floor panel.
Yep, it happened more than once.
You get a free bidet out of that.
yeah.
Yeah, happened more than once.
Should I go to based on just my education, electronics?
Yeah, certainly.
completed it.
Yeah, my electronic education is not great yet.
now, so I'm at least a 3.
This
so-
is one of the this is one of the few that I personally would have gone with a 4 for myself
Oh
because
shit.
of my background.
Well, I agree there. You play a lot more with new toys than a lot of us do.
I mean,
All those
Three.
vibrators from work. I mean, he got to put in some.
you know, I mean, 3D printers, VR headsets. I'm a technology early adopter.
Yeah.
So
If
that's-
I had the money, I would be personally, because I adore technology
Yeah.
so
I
much.
did-
Just,
I
you
didn't
can
have
solve
the
it
money
by
at
just
your age
getting
either.
money. Problem solved. Shit.
I didn't have that at your age either. So there's still time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
plenty of time. It's
Bear
just
in mind,
oh,
I have
I
a
want
number
it so
of years
bad.
on you.
It takes
Yeah.
10 years to start getting a basis for a living, and after you got a
Yeah.
basis for a living, then you start earning the real money. I've started there now. It's like it
Yes.
takes time.
Oh,
Yeah.
just because talking about, livings and things, I just have to say I received my email at my office today to say that in a week and a half I would be receiving my 5-year-long service with Hitachi.
Very
so
nice.
Nice.
I will be getting a nice
Yeah.
bonus package with that.
That'd be
Congratulations.
nice.
Nice.
That's always good.
Yeah, very good. Moving on then, academics. This is your knowledge and your ability to learn. This is how well you did in school. This is...
Can
Hmm?
This was gonna be really high for me because I actually.
Yeah.
After first grade, once I got on medication, I had nothing but A's until very late high school.
Mhm.
Then I excelled in all of my technical courses. I didn't do great in the actual academics in college, and now I'm on a second degree. So
Yeah, if you're
3
on a
or
second,
4.
if you're on a secondary degree, I would say you've got a 4.
yes,
A 3 is going to be a college degree.
yeah, I adore learning. It's one of the best things.
A 2 is going
Learning's
to be a
great.
high school graduate.
I'm a 3 now.
A 1 would be some high school but dropped out.
Granted, these are 2-year degrees, but they're perfectly fine degrees for getting work, and that's all I wanted.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That's why I'm going
that's
for
fine.
multiple. I might go for another after this one. I'm not sure yet. Thinking business or something like that, just cause.
Business helps
Business
in a lot
wouldn't-
of fields, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, pressing
I've
on.
been thinking of going back there too. Oh shit, the difficult one.
Computer.
Computers. Yeah, so this is the ability to program computers, to
Yeah.
write code, to hack things, to...
I know. I'm good enough with Java. I'm okay with C#. I'm learning Python. Would that be a 2?
I'd say that's a 2 on your way towards a 3.
It's my work. So 3 or 4.
I'd say it's a 3, or if you really do it in your spare time and all that as well, a 4.
I need to be
Spare time.
doing this in my spare time because I like it. I need to
I mean,
cultivate it a bit more. I just don't.
if I do it in my spare time, I credit it as work time when I report my time. So there's
Fair
no
enough,
such
yeah.
thing as doing it in my free time.
No, I mean, for example, I do it at work, and then I come home and I write a website as well. It's not work related, but I'm still doing coding.
I would say I'm a 2. I'm not professional in it, so I'm a 2.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm just learning right now.
Okay, I'm gonna put a 3 in that case.
So,
It's like I know enough languages to do basic stuff, but
if you're
I
not
don't.
using it regularly, then a 2.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't spend. I mean, I can make a web page without thinking, but if I have to delve into the code to find out what's wrong, it's like,
Whereas
Yeah.
troubleshooting what's wrong is what I do.
Yeah.
You know.
I
next.
can write it, but God, I hate troubleshooting it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
worse.
work as a tester, so it's part of it.
You people like you is the bane of my existence. I spend all my time designing it, and then you just go sit there and break it.
Man, can
Yeah,
I send it to my code?
yeah, I'm the one with the red notes that put it on the scrum board. Like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong,
Oh,
that's
you,
wrong.
you said the swear word. Scrum.
What do you use?
Huh? We use Scrum. That's the problem.
Oh, I
Agile.
thought we use the far superior mythology of.
Agile DevOps is what we do.
Yeah, that's one more. Like a car
okay, I'm gonna go
Kanban?
back.
combat.
Go back.
Yeah,
Oh, I
And I'm
hate
gonna
Kanban as well.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna
Kim.
it all.
So I came to thinking that I thought it would fit somewhere else, but one of my education is space technology. I know how to build a rocket. Quite literally.
That would be technology.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought it would be something later, but it wasn't. So.
No, that would be
I
technology.
cannot mention.
I was thinking science, but
well-
it doesn't really work.
Doing
I can
things
build a
like
very
the
basic rocket,
the
but not
fuel
a-
reactions and that kind of thing
Uh.
would be science, but building the physical rocket would be technology.
Yeah, I know both. I had to know both.
Well, then you would
I
want to put in both
cannot
of
name
those.
all the planets in the solar system.
Really?
Then you're
To
not
be
going
fair,
have
they
much
change kind of
cosmology.
often. So
You know which two are the closest.
I mean, I know like Mars and I know Mercury, but I mean, after
know
that,
they
it's like
exist.
Uranus, Neptune.
wait. What
Saturn.
comes after Mars and Mercury?
After? I don't know the order of that. Fuck.
Okay.
Hang on.
I see Kim smiling. Kim knows what I'm doing.
Mars.
Yep. But I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna shut up. Okay.
Jamie's died on us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Madman, go into the internet, Google
Go.
this shit, and you're gonna have a laugh. Okay.
Look what comes after Mars and Mercury.
Uranus.
Oh, that's quite a bit after. That's near the end. As it should be.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put a 0 there. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Cosmology is also
I'm gonna put a 1. I'm not great at it, but
it's
I
also
can.
where the catch-all is for things like star signs, you know, reading astrology and things like that. That's either going to fall under a little bit of cosmology or a little bit of esoterica.
Nothing.
Now, enigmas, the next one here.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, what is that?
That is an enigma.
Well,
It
even
is.
though none of you know what it is, all of you go ahead and immediately put at least one dot in it.
Okay.
Just because of the
I
setting.
think it's gonna be
In-
more than that. Too.
Enigmas is the ability to solve puzzles.
Oh.
It is
Uh,
gaming. Gaming
Think-
is enigmas.
Oh,
I'm
wasn't
gonna
it?
put a
I'm
2
very
in
good
that.
at gaming.
It's called something in Greek. I remember this. It has the wording in Greek because they used enigma during the Second World War to translate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they used puzzle solving. I think it's the direct translation in Greek because enigma is the total word
Yeah.
for puzzle solving or something.
I mean, again, tester. I should have a little bit higher
Yeah,
than a
certainly.
1
Certainly.
I put 2 in mine because I do really enjoy specifically puzzle games.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing, so I just went ahead and put 2 in it. I'm not going to go higher because I don't believe I'm that good at puzzles. But I like puzzles.
Okay.
I'm
Moving
just
on
gonna
from
go-
there, then we have esoterica.
Again, what the fuck is that?
Esoterica is very highly specialized